So where was I? Yeah guys, it has been a minute. Hi, sorry. I haven't been on YouTube in 2 years. It's been a long time. So the reason why was because I moved. If you follow my Instagram, you probably saw, but I moved from Florida to Las Vegas. I didn't really went forward in my career there in Orlando, so I took an opportunity and moved to Vegas, and now I'm a retail manager for MAC, so that means I'm in charge of a whole counter and then a whole team, so it's a lot of work. It's really a lot of work, but at the same time it's a lot of fun and it pays the bills. So my focus was definitely on my daytime job, and now that everybody's in quarantine, it was the perfect time for me to come back here because I do still have all the equipment, and I do invested into a new computer because I was editing my videos on a really old laptop, and yeah, that didn't work out really well because like editing a video took me forever. So I'm editing on my new computer. It's a Mac, so I'm using iMovie for right now, but I do want to invest into a better editing program soon. So I hope I can give you even better content in the future. But today I just wanted to do a get ready with me, and I will have a nice giveaway at the end of this video. So you definitely want to stick around and see what you can win. And let's go into the tutorial. So now that everybody is off of work, almost everybody, besides obviously the people who need to stay at work and help keep that society running, like doctors and nurses and people working in grocery stores and the law enforcement and stuff like that. Shout out to them. Thank you for staying at the front line and helping to maintain some sort of normal routine to a lot of people. But my counter is closed, and I wanted to still keep my staff inspired and active. I don't want them to get rusty as a makeup artist. So I came up with a challenge, and obviously I participate myself because I always try to lead by example. And I gave them a look that they should recreate. So I will recreate it too, and it's this one right here. It's by Miss Kylie Minogue. And it's this amazing like graphic liner, very fierce, very dramatic. So I will go ahead and start doing this. Now I hope you don't hear my neighbors. I do have now my own space here, but my neighbors, they love to smoke in front of their house, so they stay in front of the house smoking all day and coughing. What is lovely. So if you hear coughing in the background, thank them. I wanted to start, let's start. So first of all, let's start with prepping my skin, and I'm obsessing right now with softening lotion. I really had to change my makeup routine when I moved from Orlando to Vegas, and the reason is because it's much drier. So my skin is not quite as oily anymore. It still produces a good amount of oil, but I definitely had to maintain my makeup much earlier and more often than I did I do now here. Alright, let's go in. Starting with foundation, using my trusty, I should prime. Skin base. Oh yeah, by the way, I will use a lot of MAC because I do have a lot of MAC. That's how it is. If you're here to see new products, it's probably not right now the channel for you, because I'm more about artistry than I am about selling. And that was one of the things when I did my last videos. If you saw my last videos, like, it's so crazy that a lot of the content that got the most views was like reviews on products. And like when I did makeups, like it wasn't really received as well as I hoped. And it was frustrating. I'm not gonna lie, like if you put time and money into a look like my last Halloween look that I posted, the Tooth Fairy, I prepped for this like a week, and it took me like 4 hours to film, and then the editing, and it was like a lot of work. And I think at the end it was like, I had like 200 views. And people always say, oh, it's not about the views. Like, yes it is. If you put like time and effort into your look, it really is also about yeah, like making an impact with that. So it was a little frustrating, but now that I did have my break, I also realized that if one person enjoyed it, it was worth it, you know? But there is pressure out there, and like, I'm always that type of person. I'm not gonna lie, I'm that type of person. Like, some people, they just, it looks like everything just flies to them. Like, they don't put as much effort in, at least on the surface, and they receive like a lot of things, just like, it seems like they just fly to them. And I'm definitely not that person. I'm that type of person who, I work really hard and then I just get maybe a fraction of what other people do. But I'm still very privileged. I do know that. I do have, I live in an amazing place where I can have my husband and live with him in a safe environment and you know, express myself with makeup and be a makeup artist and all of that. So it's really I think we all challenge with a lot of things all the time. Like, I compare myself a lot to other people and see where I am compared to them, and I need to stop that. I'm still working on it. Next, I'm using 24 Hours Studio Fix Concealer or Studio Fix 24 Hour Smoothwear Concealer from MAC. It's the only one I have left right now. Like, I'm a little worried that after this quarantine thing, I'm running out of certain things, and I have a lot of makeup still. So hopefully I don't. So what else happened in 2 years? Honestly, like, it sounds weird, but a lot, but not a lot. So obviously I moved. Obviously I upgraded in my job title. I definitely downgraded in my friends. So it's hard. I don't have a lot of friends in Vegas, but the ones that I have, they're pretty loyal. And I still have like a handful of people I talk to from Florida, and you know, I consider friends. But it's crazy. Like, once you leave a place, you're gone, out of their sight, out of their mind. That's how it is. But that's fine. You know, I still have my beautiful husband, and we going up and down just like any relationship, you know. I still have my beautiful cats that I love more than ever. They're literally my babies. It's crazy. And what else? I mean, like, my family things happen. I became an uncle. I'm very happy about that. I wish I would be closer to my family now that, you know, we grew a little bit. But you never know. I don't know what happens this year if I stay here in Vegas, if I stay in America at all. You know, the world is crazy. So I think we all kind of like look into getting closer because we are so disconnected. And then one of the things that really changed, but it didn't change. I just picked it up again. I did drag, so I'm a drag queen. I did drag for ever since 2006 or 7. And I moved to America and I stopped doing it. I had to sell pretty much, or leave my drag behind in Germany. Being honest with you, like, it's not a lot of things that I would pick up now again if I would have them in front of me, just because, you know, you upgrade. But yeah, I started doing drag again. So if you go on my Instagram, and one of my last posts that I posted was a drag makeup that I did, and I'm actually tagging my drag Instagram account. So if you want to follow that, I also will put it onto the display right now, so you can go and follow if you like. Alright, next let's go into setting the makeup. Well, I'm putting out an oldie but a goodie, and it's almost empty. My Patrick Starrr powder. This was my second one, or yeah, I think second one. And then I have one more left. That's the type of person I am. Like, you know, I'm not stocking up on toilet paper like everybody else, but on my powders. But it's really still my favorite powder. Like I hope they bring it back in some short form or shape later on. Taking my same sponge that I used before and setting underneath the eye. Now to kick it off and also to set the rest of the face, I'm using mineral powder from MAC. I'm in the color medium. Now, one thing that I have to say that I'm very grateful for, like over the moon grateful for at this time right now, is that MAC decided not just to pull all of the employees, so any location from MAC closed besides Dillard's, but Dillard's, they also pulled the employees from Dillard's. So nobody from MAC right now is currently working, but everybody gets paid, what is amazing. Because I've seen so many of my friends, especially the drag queens, I have some friends from Cirque du Soleil, they all got temporarily laid off, so they're unemployed right now. It's really scary to see that, and I mean, like, who knows? I don't know how long MAC can actually pay their employees with having the location closed, but they paid everybody, including our on-call artists, what is unheard of. Like, I talked to friends who work at like Morphe and other other makeup brands, and they're not paying, or they're not paying their whole staff. They're just paying like their full-time people or like their permanent people, you know. And MAC was like, nope, it's not the time to do that. They decided to let everybody have at least 2 weeks of pay. So let's see what's happening after the 2 weeks. But I'm very, very grateful to work for a company that does this. And I'm with the company now almost 7 years. Isn't that crazy? So yeah, 7 years in May, and I know a lot of people, you know, they started hating on MAC, they started hating on the people working at MAC, but this is one of those things that shows me that sticking around still is the right decision for me right now. So I'm very grateful. So when we're looking at the picture, and it's not the best quality, but if you're looking, you can see like there's barely like contouring going on, but it's almost contoured with blush. It's almost like a David Bowie kind of feel to it. So let us do that now. Let me do a little soft contouring, and I'm using the trusty angle brush from MAC, and I'm going into this palette here that has a couple of highlight and contours that are really good for light to medium skin. So I'm going in with this color here. It's Taupe. It's a very, very cool toned contour color, because I don't want to have anything warm or bronzy looking, because also on her, like, she looks very pale and porcelain in the picture. So I'm starting right here where the hair ends and swoop it almost just down to the mouth, but where the eye starts, I let the brush go. And then I go into little circles and just buff it out slightly. And then to keep that inner part of my face really light, I use this color. It's called Emphasize, and it's almost white, like an off-white color. It has a little bit of a reflex, so it gives me almost a little bit of illumination. I'm just using it underneath the eye. Now for blush, let's go into the Morphe palette, using something else on MAC, yay! And this one is the 9B palette, and I'm using this reddish color and mixing ever so slightly a little bit of that upper pink here in the center, and I'm using it on a Morphe M530 brush. So I'm just tipping it in, and I'm starting on the back here, pulling it into that contour. So now let's go into the eye part. So when we're looking at her eye makeup, I want to go with the brows first. Obviously her brows are much thinner, but we see those little spikes going all along. And so what I will do is I just ever so slightly will fill in my brows with a brow pencil, and then I'm going into like a liquid brow pencil to create those little bushy looking lines. So when we're looking at her eyebrows, right in the front you see is the darkest and then it goes out a little lighter. So let's go into this. This is the Shape and Shade Brow Tint from MAC in the color Spiked. And the first line is almost goes a little bit down into the bridge. So I'm going up like that. And then from there I do another one. Just like this. And then we just do a couple in between. So next we go and prime our eyelids. And for that I'm using the P.Louise base in the color Rumour 02, maybe. And I do like it. I mean, like, it's a very pigmented eye base and I personally prefer that. That's why I use either P.Louise base or I use Paint Pot by Painterly. No, Painterly Paint Pot by MAC. That's what I wanted to say. And it just really grips the product really nicely. So when we go back into the picture and looking at her eye makeup, we see the red, we see some yellow and oranges right here. And then in the inner corner she has that white, also following in her lash, in her waterline. So we definitely want to try to recreate that first before we do that really dramatic eyeliner. And to create this, I am using the Conspiracy palette by Jeffree Starrr. It has this nice red color and this orange right here. They call cheese dust and flaming hot. And then for the yellow, because the yellow in here is a little bit too neon, like lime yellow, to this color from one of my MAC palettes. This one is called Bright Sunshine. It has been discontinued, so don't look for this color, but any more like kind of like sunshine yellow, that's what you want to do. Like not lime green yellow, or also not like, think citrus yellow, but slightly more peachy, if that makes sense. So let's start by using our trusty 217 brush, and let's start with the yellow. So I'm using this yellow right here, and where I place it is in the inner corner here, and then I go ever so slightly down and also wrap it along the lower lash line into the inner corner. And I'm mixing a little, it's a little bit too yellowish. So I'm mixing a little bit of this one in here, and this one is the color Coral. Coral has been just reintroduced to MAC, so you can get that color right now. So I'm mixing those two colors because I need a little bit more peachiness to the yellow. And I'm using this mixture also on my eyelid. Yeah, that's the perfect color right there. Do you see that? Like, it's peachy yellow. Lastly, we use it on the outer part here above the socket line. And almost blend it all the way up, but then more with the yellow to the eyebrow. Now let's go into Cheese Dust from the Jeffree Starrr Conspiracy palette. And I'm using this orange as my transition shade in the socket line. So I'm just starting on the outer corner here, slightly wing it out, follow the socket line to that inner corner, but then don't go down, but actually go up into the brows. You kind of like want to wing it out, so just drag it out, and while you drag out, you leave your skin with the brush. And I take this also ever so slightly on the lower lash line and blend that out with the yellow. Now for a little bit more detailed work, I go in with the Morphe M506, and I'm going into Flaming Hot, that bright neon red almost. And I place it at the same area that I did the orange, but don't blend it out as much. And once it's placed, go back with your 217 and just blend it in. Now before we go into the graphic liner part, I'm going in with a white Eyeshadow pencil and just run it along into my waterline. Now if you're looking at both eyes, you can see there's this really amazing, huge graphic liner, but on her other eye, it's not. So I will focus on this one first, and honestly, the only thing you can do is have a picture in front of you and just try to follow the lines, but you know, don't go crazy. And I'm just using brush black brush stroke liner from MAC. So let's start on the inner corner, and what happens here is it actually opens up here a little bit. So let's start here, go down, almost like a good inch, and then from here it goes up into the crease of your eye. So I personally like to start always from the top and just go down like this, and then from that crease it goes just up and slightly above the eyebrow. And now we leave that little inner corner free, because there comes the white. Go down from here again, and it's actually not connecting, so we go back here. Alright, now let me take a... Yes, I do have a pick mirror, I know, I'm pathetic. I think they're fantastic. And they're actually really good mirrors. So let me go into close up and really see what I do here. So I try to fill it in. So now that I've done the inner part, I'm actually doing just a straight regular liner for now. Now in this picture she actually looks slightly sideways, and then it goes pretty much in the center, but if I would do that, it actually goes too close in. So I'm actually turning my head how she has it on the picture, and that's how I do that big giant triangle in the center. And this one extends quite higher onto the forehead. And then I go down, and then I stretch my eye and just connect it to the actual eyeliner. Just like that. And then you want to follow that, and kind of like if you would continue the line through the eye, do it on the bottom, just like that. And then I'm filling in. So now we have to do 3 more on the top and 3 more on the bottom, but they get smaller and they go actually out and almost touch back here. So let me just do this really quick, and then I will be right back. So now that I completed pretty much the liner how I like it, I will go in with some acrylic, I'm showing you the lid, acrylic white paint from MAC. You can do a white liner, like whatever you have. And then I just give it a little pop right here. And then I also, actually it's disconnecting here on the outer corner, so I just go in like that. And that's it. So before I finish off this side, let me do the other side. But when you're looking at her makeup on the other side, again, you can barely see anything, but what I can see is that there's like a sharp line underneath, and then it looks just like a regular liner. So that's what I will do. Now to finish off the look, I will curl my lash, put mascara on, and then they look really spiky, her lashes, but not really too dramatic. So I'm using Iconic. They might be a little bit more dramatic than I wish for, but I don't have the lash that I would usually take. But if you have the number 7 lash from MAC, I think that will be more suitable. Alright, final stretch. Eyes are done, face is done, so let's go into lips. Trusty Prep and Prime lip. If you need anything from MAC, that's the one. This is on Fix Plus. I honestly don't know how people can do their lips without lip primer. I'm being honest. Next we going into a true Marilyn Monroe kind of like cherry red lip. So cherry lip liner from MAC it is. And for my lips I go into my palette here for, I have like a bunch of those palettes from my makeup kit, and I don't have Ruby Woo like the classic red on a regular lip stick, so I'm just using it from here. And final step, setting it of course with some Fix Plus. And there you go. And this is how I recreated the look from Kylie Minogue, the original Kylie. So what do you guys think? Did we succeed? I think she did it on her left side. And I did it on the right. Well, we can mirror it, it's fine. And this is the end of my Get Ready With Me tutorial, more dramatic than your average, but hey, we're here. So I hope you liked this, and I know if you sticked around, you're probably wondering, there was something about a giveaway, wasn't it? Yes, it was. So I have something very special that I purchased months ago, knowing that I will come back to YouTube, and as a token of gratitude towards you guys who gave me the time to, you know, come back and sticked around that the whole time. I see you. I wanted to give something away that is really special, and this giveaway will be open internationally. And so I'm giving away one of Jeffree Starr's conspiracy palettes. I have it right in front of me here. It's fresh, it's new, it's wrapped, and it's ready to go. Let me just put it down so I don't destroy it. So one of you guys can win this conspiracy palette, and what you have to do is pretty easy. You just have to follow me here, subscribe to my channel, obviously. If you want, please give me a like. And then what you have to do, this is like the task, you have to go to my Instagram. So my Instagram will be linked down below, but also I will put it somewhere on the display here. So go there and then find the giveaway post and tag 3 people that you think would really enjoy winning this conspiracy palette. Okay? So just tag 3 people, follow my Instagram, come back here and just leave your Instagram handle in the comment section. Because obviously I want to cross-reference and then see if you completed the task, and if so, then you enter and you might be the lucky winner of a brand new conspiracy palette that I will ship myself to you. So I wanted to thank you again one more time for sticking around. I know it's been a while. It's really weird now being back here talking to a camera, and I hope everything looks okay, everything looks normal, that the lighting is okay, that, you know, I look okay. So fingers crossed, I will see it when I edit this video. And yes, if you have not, subscribe, like this video. And then there's this new thing, people ring the bell. Don't know what it does, but apparently people want to do that so they get notified when I upload a new video. So please do that. And again, thank you so much for sticking around. 2 years flew by, but I'm back, trust, and I will upload more regularly again. Thank you again for sticking around. I hope you stay inside, stay safe, wash your hands, and until I see you guys next time, have a wonderful day.